Damien, you should never go after someone your friend was interested in first. Come on.
Lay it off, Julian.
This coming from the one who dated my ex and supposedly didn't know.
Oh, come on. You were talking about Johnny from Yonkers. Let's clear this up once and for all. I had no idea that was his ex. I didn't know that he saw any pictures.
And then he wonders why I never show him pictures because a week later he would date them.
Yeah, but that was
What? Exactly.
fine. You're right. But come on, Damien. That was a long time ago. And we're past that. But you know what? He was not all that great in bed anyway.
Which is why I left him.
Damn.
Welcome to a new season and the first episode of Vega411 Season 7! Yay! I'm excited, guys. This is the premiere episode of Season 7 of Vega411, and we have an amazing show. We got to start off big. We got to start off with our stars because the cast of Stars Dance the series is here today. Woo! So I gotta bring them in magically, so you already know the rules, guys. Here we go. What's going on? Yay! Oh my God, it's Kenny and Haley Kiriazi. Kenneth Padilla and Haley Kiriazi is here, guys. So good to see you.
It's great to be here.
Yes, I'm
Right.
so excited. How you guys are doing today?
Great.
Great. Well, I'm excited, guys, for you joining in today. This is the first time since we had the reunion. Like we saw Stars Dance the premiere when it came out, when we were all together in one room. So thank you guys for coming to the recap of Stars Dance the series. I'm excited. So Stars Dance the series is a comedy about three friends: Ruby, Damien, and Julian, who use their talent and drive for dancing to get through their everyday struggles in, well, basically life, like most of dancers who have to get on by. Well, in season 1, if you haven't seen it, we see Julian discover an open casting call audition for a cruise line. I hope it's Disney, not on this show. He immediately tells Damien and Ruby on the importance of auditioning as a trio and coming up with a collaborative dance piece. There's an open dance call. A major cruise line is looking for the next big dance group.
That's great.
Yes. And it's a group audition.
Great.
Keep dancing. Yes, just keep dancing.
I'm gonna have to take a rain check on this one.
Is he serious, right? Damien. You can't be serious. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He cannot bail.
I don't know, we have different styles, so how is
Ruby,
that gonna work?
What do you think?
I mean,
Come on. Ruby, you ain't rusty, Ruby. Come on. Would you do it? You're the reasonable one. You're reasonable, Ruby. You cannot possibly, though. What do you say?
Okay, look. Julian's right.
Thank you, I know. Now, here where it gets crazy. They managed to give an amazing performance at the audition, but things become disappointing when Julian gets a call from the judges on them not making the cut. And then we move on to season 2. So, guys, what happens when season 2 continues where we left off? Anybody want to start chiming in?
Well,
Where do we leave from season 1 to season 2? What happens from that time?
Well,
For the viewers who haven't watched season 2.
well, don't we get something to eat? Because,
Yes, we do get something to eat. That's one thing about the show. We always eating.
yeah.
That's like the highlight.
Yeah.
My first question is, how did you get involved with the show, and what was you doing before Stars Dance? Now, of course, I've created the show, and I also star in it, but before Stars Dance, I was just doing tons of like acting and also like Vega411, but this is a blessing. So, any of you, what have you done before Stars Dance, and how did you get involved with the show?
So I was dancing, obviously. And I met Jesse through casting dancers for the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And I think ever since we just created that bond, I feel that's when you started to get to know me more. Like, can she do a little bit more? Like, she's an artist, you know, and then our producer Paul
Yes, thanks to Paul.
made the suggestion. What about Haley? You know, so I think it was just natural. Like things.
I was searching for a Ruby.
Flowed.
I was searching for a Ruby because I was like, this show's too good. We need a Ruby. If there's no Ruby, I mean, it makes no sense to like recast. So like, I need somebody, and that's when he was like, get Haley. I was like, I don't know if she asked though. Like, can we get Haley? And remarkably, you send in your audition tape. I was like, yeah, she can really make Ruby believable.
Right.
Which I need to see those audition videos again and see how much I've grown.
Yeah, yes,
You never know.
You did really good, and thank you for being part of the show. So we came full circle on that.
Yeah.
And you, Kenny?
Wow.
Well, like, how did you get involved with the show? And
Well, didn't you ask me to be
Yeah,
a
I
part of
did.
it? Yes. So you asked me.
tell
but-
everybody how that happened. Like, where were you when you got the call? Like,
Well, I just
before that,
finished-
even before that, like, how did it happen? Where, like, what was going on in your life before you even decided to act on screen?
Well, I was in college studying acting. So I was doing acting there and just, getting in touch with my acting side and everything. So I wanted to do that. So, and then that's when you asked me.
And how did you feel about when you got presented the role of Damien?
I loved it.
You
I
did?
loved it. Like, I got in touch with Damien. Like, reading the script and everything, I already knew. Like, I was on top of it.
How alike or different are you with your characters? Like, since you said, like, Damien, like, are you alike in some ways with Damien, or is there some things about Damien that you're like, I wouldn't really do that?
Yeah, Damien's a little much, but people say that that's naturally me, but I don't see it. I don't know. Damien's like more bitchier than I am. I'm nice.
Yeah,
I'm not
yes,
that
you are.
bitchy.
You do take
yeah.
Damien to a level of, like, he's very, I guess the way I wrote the character was, like, I wanted him to be very snappy in terms of, like,
Right. And he
not
shows that, like,
sarcasm, but more
tough
like
love.
that.
Tough love.
Yeah,
Like,
he's very
like that.
in your face, tells it like it is. He doesn't care. But then in season 2, you get to see a different side of him, which we'll talk a little bit more. But you got to see the show. What about you, Haley? How alike or different are you in terms of Ruby Pierce Waters? That's a nice ring to it.
Right. I feel in certain attributes that Ruby is nothing like me, in the sense that she's so simple and I'm so like this.
Yeah.
And Ruby's so like, like she's not very confident in herself. And I think that maybe me as myself put too much, a little bit of my character in Ruby. And I don't know, I just brought it to life. It just gave Ruby like 2 personalities in this season. It gave her like a side where she's like, oh man, like I can't put up with this, like especially with her best friend, how like she's so frustrated with her. But at the same time, she was, I don't know how to put it. She has a little bit of a backbone in this season.
Yeah, see, in season 2, she does have a back, because in season 1, like the way she was a little bit more like, she's still like the mother figure of Damien and Julian, because the way Julian is versus how Damien is, when I play the character, Julian is just very like, he's like very theatrical, dramatic, he's very passionate about things, but there are certain things that he comes off a little bit sarcasm in terms of with Damien, because they have this relationship, and because if you guys don't know, like Damien and Julian are friends before they even met Ruby, and Ruby just came into the equation when they met in college. So it's like a yin and yang between me and you when we play the character, where you're just very like, and Julian is like, he just throws daggers in terms of his sarcasm, but he's very passionate about things, and you're like, okay guys, how to say, you're like the mother figure of how to mold it. But like, how was it working on the set, like behind the scenes? Can you guys chime in about the set and behind the scenes? How was it being in the space?
Well, a lot of the times, all of us couldn't really be together for all the scenes. So the fact that it came to life so perfectly without even being there on each set, it was just, it just felt natural.
Yeah.
Everybody was just so like connected.
Yeah.
So it's just awesome that that gets to happen. And I can't wait for more, to be honest.
Right, right.
I'm waiting for season 3.
Hello.
It's coming.
It's coming.
But it was good because with being behind the scenes, right? Because I know you've done theater, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. You have done a couple
yeah.
of theater shows, and I have done theater. It's very different when you're doing theater versus on screen because
Right.
everything is different. Like you're always on set each day or every other day, so you don't get to really like be involved in the script from the beginning, middle, and end.
Like the bloopers, there's a bunch of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of bloopers. There's a lot of things like that.
People
so,
you don't like on set.
Right, but you gotta work with them because in order for you to get on by, you have to like deal with it and try to swallow as much pride as you can without taking your fist and putting it in their face.
Yeah, right. Which.
But you know, you're always gonna go in situations where you're gonna like some actors, you're not gonna like some actors, and you have to work with them. So, in terms of being behind the set and on the scenes, like, were there some things that, like, some remarkable moments that you guys can say? Like, for example, like me, I think my favorite stuff that I love behind the scenes was because you know I had to act, but at the same time I had to hold the boom mic. So one of my favorite ones was holding the boom mic on the set with Kenny and Brian the waiter, who was played by Timothy Bonet, where that scene was interesting, where I was like holding the microphone and you guys were like doing the scene. So that was interesting scene behind the scenes of me not being involved.
Right.
What about you guys? What parts of some scenes that you enjoyed?
You want to go, Kenny?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like being behind.
Yeah.
Or rehearsals. What about rehearsals? We had a lot of fun with rehearsals.
Yeah, we did. We did. Oh, we had a rehearsal in the park. I think that was my fave.
Yo, where is this waiter? Hello.
Relax. Where's your friend?
They went somewhere. Can I have
You
the
paying
bill?
for them?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay,
Can I
here
have
you
the
go.
bill?
Here you go.
Thank you.
Don't be rude. No, thank you.
Listen, I
God
hated
bless
my
you.
service. Okay, can I speak to the manager?
Okay, give me 1 second. Bitch, I am the manager. Okay, so what happened? What's the
Out of
problem?
here. I have a problem with this service, bitch.
Yeah.
It was a lot of it was serious, like with the getting in touch with the scene, but like we also had our fun times joking around. And
Right,
stuff.
right,
So that
right.
was fun, right?
That was.
I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
we
got to
always
work.
have fun on set.
Even
I
on the
love it.
rehearsals. So
It
what
was,
was
just,
that?
it was just so weird, like dating someone on set when you're not dating them, and it's like
right.
acting like
Oh.
you're dating them, like holding their hand and trying to give them googly eyes when you don't feel nothing for them.
Yeah.
That's the most hardest part.
But that happens a lot in these.
But then that's kind of the opposite for me. Remember when I was with with
oh,
Brian, like
yeah,
with Timothy.
Uh-huh.
It was awkward because we actually like know each other
Yeah.
and we're together, so it's like
Was
how do
it?
you
Would
stay
it feel a little
serious?
bit different that you had to work with your partner in that scene, even though he was playing a guy that picked up Damien? How different was it to work with him?
It was difficult at first because he does joke around a lot, but
I know.
like after a few takes and after a few like rehearsals, like he got serious. And
Now you're fucking annoying ass
It's mine that long. I get up for work.
serious, and it got serious.
And it,
so
and,
it,
it,
was
and it
fine.
played out. And it played
Yeah,
out.
it plays out good. It plays
Yeah.
out really
What was
good.
your favorite part? Like, what was your favorite scene in the show? My favorite scene, I'm sorry to say, is I got 2 favorite scenes.
Say both. Say both.
But really,
Yeah, say
that's
both.
being so selfish. Okay, my favorite scene is, I think, episode 2 when Cynthia tells Ruby about the importance of dancing for Simply Sassy. I think that scene was just
Yeah.
comedy crazy, and of course, you know, the finale, which if you guys didn't see, you got to see it right now. But it's available to watch on YouTube, which Kenneth Padilla, aka Kenny Supreme, just does a remarkable Golden Goal performance of that last scene. So it's amazing. So those are my favorites. What were your favorites?
Oh man, when I have different like feels about everything. Like when it comes to Offset and everything of flowing, all of the diner scenes, because it's just like how many takes we had to do, and
God, we had to do
cold.
26 and I eat that chicken
And-
wings and that milkshake.
We was trying our
Right.
best not to
After
eat.
1 in the morning, I was freaking bloated, guys. Like, that's bad.
Right. And I feel my other scenes were with Jaylene Torres, especially with, her explaining about Simply Sassy, and I was kind of like, no, bitch. Like, in my head, like, no, bitch, we're not doing this.
And no, we're not doing this. I'm not doing it.
Like, and then another scene that I loved, I'm being selfish today, was me telling, Ruby telling Julian, like, no one's coming, but trying to be
More sincere.
more sincere, but at the same time, like, bitch, it's been an hour and 40 something minutes.
You know,
like,
speaking of that, because I know you're a dancer, does that happen a lot in the dance world where certain people are head of the workshop and they try to invite a lot of people to a class and no one shows up?
that happened when I first started teaching Zumba.
So it was a little bit more relatable
Yeah.
to understanding Julian's struggle.
It's yeah, it was, and it was just like it happens in the beginning. Your clientele just isn't. People support you, but it's just happened to be in the beginning. Like they don't know who you are or what you do. So it's like, why am I going to?
Yeah,
this?
you gotta pay your dues, guys.
Yeah.
What about you, Kenny? What was your favorite scene in the show?
Well, I love the diner scene, of course. That was my favorite. And which was the episode? Was it 3 or where Cynthia and you did the dance audition?
That was 3.
Episode
was
2.
three.
Episode 2.
Two?
Yeah, Simply
That was
Sassy. Episode 2. Everybody loves
sure?
episode 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It was like the comedy was from beginning, middle, end. It didn't stop. It kept it, and the dance was there. So that was everybody's favorite. That was a good one.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
shout
that
outs
was
to
really good.
also the cinematographer, director at Mid-One Films for taking over for the role of directing the series. So we gotta give a big round of applause
Yes,
to him for
definitely.
doing it.
She
If it
did
wasn't
such
for
a good
him,
job.
I really appreciate that. What was the most hardest scene to film, and why? Go ahead, Damien. Kenny.
The hardest scene was when
Be
he broke the news
honest,
to
because
me.
I know what. Huh?
When he broke the news to me, Brian, that was difficult. Remember, we did it like a lot of times because I just couldn't take
Method
him
acting.
serious.
Method acting. You got to get involved. Of like, how can someone tell you a news like that?
Yeah.
How can someone tell you something about they, are sick, and they have to, and then how do you deal with that? Because we don't even know in terms of Damien, like, did he have sex? Did he not have sex? Have you been
Right.
getting a lot of emails, calls, text message about did he not? Have you gotten anybody ask you those questions?
Yeah. People have, actually.
And what do you tell them?
You can't tell.
You can't, you have to wait. You
We have to wait.
till season 3.
What about you, Haley? What was your most hardest scene to film?
I think the hardest scene was in front of the movie
Working
theater.
amongst people that you don't like. No, I'm playing.
Right, and we're gonna tap into that right now. It was the movie theater scene with the guy I was dating.
Joe Tartaglia
Yes.
and Jennifer Suter, who played Muffin McDowell, and Joe played Christian.
Christian, yeah. I think that was the hardest part because, like I said, I was dating somebody I wasn't dating. So it's like, for me, as a Capricorn, we really have to have a bond in order to bring that out of us. So I felt it was really hard to bring that out, like
Yeah.
the whole like intimacy thing. And then with Muffin, to tap into the whole I don't like her or she's a problem. It was just, we had to go through that scene over and over. Remember, he was like, give more face
Yeah.
or to show you don't like her. But
Yeah.
then things happened
Yeah, things happen.
behind the scene, and then I didn't like her.
Oh, well.
So
And if you can give advice on your character, what would it be? Be nice.
on my character,
Yeah, what would you give your character, Ruby? Any advice?
step up to the plate, be a little more confident in your skin, and cut your hair.
Okay.
Well.
What about you, Kenny? Well, what advice would you give Damien?
Just be strong and pull through. You got this.
I would say, for my character, Julian, I mean, the hardest scene that for me to film was, I think it was basically tapping in both to choreographing, which was also done by you, the song for Do It All Over Again, on the last episode. And then I had to act, and on top of that, to get involved in the situation of no one was showing up. That sucked. Advice, I would just say, just relax. Julian, just
Yeah,
relax. Take it
Julian's
easy. He's a little bit like, I would say that. And I think my last question is, what do you think might happen to your character in the next season, if you would give your predictions, Kenny?
I'm not even sure because
Well, what
we don't
can you
even
put?
know.
You don't know, but what if you would? What would you say? What you think might happen or should happen in season 3?
Well, I feel like he should. I don't know. Well, depending on what happens.
Yeah, like what do you think will happen with Damien moving forward?
It depends what happens. Like,
Not so sure.
I'm not so sure.
It could go anywhere.
It could go anywhere. That's the thing.
What about you, Haley? What do you think is gonna happen with Ruby?
Ruby's eventually gonna lose it. I feel from season 2, you see that. Like, you see her going through those moments where she loses it. Like, in the diner where she's like, I can't stand her. And she's, like, getting upset. I feel like now something's going to happen to make her, like, lose her track. And then she's going to need Damien and Julian to be the glue.
She's always like, she's always like very subtle and she's always got it together. So you're saying like in season 3, we're gonna see a side of her of not having it.
She needs to.
'Cause she's
That's
always-
how she's going to grow. Yes.
Everything's fine. But now we're gonna see something in season 3. I don't know. We gotta wait and see. All I can say is, can I get my producer Paul? Paul, can you come out here?
Sure.
I actually want to say that season 2 and season 1 was amazing. And I love you guys with all my heart because season 1 and season 2 was amazing. We had so many views. The views are great. Episode 1 and episode 2 have over 100 views, and episode 3 is coming out with more views. So I want to tell you guys that I love you guys so much because in the spirit of holidays, I got everybody, and their names are on it. Right on. I got everybody some gifts. Hey, okay, but close your eyes, guys. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't open it. Okay. So I need everybody to close their eyes. Close their eyes. Hold on, I need to untangle this. This is Haley's. Close. You can supposed to close your eyes.
Oh.
I am closing them.
Okay. Which one's Haley's? Okay.
Wait, this one.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you when to open your eyes and count, and open your eyes, and then on the count of 3, you guys can open it. Yeah. So I love you guys so much, and in the spirit of the Christmas season and the holidays, I have given you guys. Open it right now.
What is
Stars Dance season 3 Haley was like, I got everybody the scripts of season 3, Stars Dance, the series. Everybody got a script. So that means it's all named and labeled for you guys for the next season. That means, guys,
ready to
season
read.
3 will happen in 2018, 2019.
So can I read this real quick and change my answer?
No, we are not going to read it now. We are going to take our time. We're going to take it home, and we're going to read it later on. So make sure you guys stay tuned because season 3 will be coming out in 2018, 2019. I love you guys so much. Don't go anywhere because on the next segment, we have Kenny Supreme. Guys, we got these amazing scripts. Yeah.
Yes!
Oh my God.
You lied.
It's a new year and a whole lot of fun because in 2018, this year's box office movies will have you jumping and scared out of your seats with many great horror films making its way in 2018. Starting off with the 4th installment of the Blumhouse Productions, Insidious Chapter 4, The Last Key. Lin Shaye, who plays Elise, a clairvoyant spiritual medium, will finally discover her gift of being connected to the spiritual world. And in the first 2 films, we got to see how a family deals with their son suffering from a coma on traveling into a world where malevolent entities try to take over their child's physical presence to possess and terrorize the family, of opening a doorway for many lost souls to haunt their home. And the fans of the franchising are wanting more. So let's take a preview into the film Insidious Chapter 4, The Last Key.
People who need help with matters that can't be explained come to me. These hauntings can be terrifying things. I should know. I've faced many evils in my life. This was different, though. The haunted house is my family's house. If we can find out what it is, we can stop this curse. To end this evil, I need to go deeper into the further. I don't have memories from this place. I have scars. I am gonna find it, and I'm gonna finish it. Please, there's someone right in front of you. I don't see anything. Be careful. You're going to touch it.
Thank you so much for joining in on this amazing episode of Vega411. Let's get back to our scheduled program. Hey guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow Vega411 on all social platforms right below, right here. My name is Jesse Vega, and I see you guys soon.